Corruption and impunity threaten to engulf and destabilize our republic if well-meaning Ghanaians do not stand up, or they do nothing and then they look on. Now it's not the time to be a spectator. We have to assert our citizenship and demand accountability at all times. We implore Ghanaians to continue supporting frontline anti-graft institutions, especially the OSP, recognizing their specialized role and the need for robust leadership. When you are set up to take on the most powerful in our society, when they are engaged in criminality, it's not an easy job. And that's our friend Mr. Domlovo always said, when you fight corruption, corruption will also fight you back. So you need to be equipped if you are going to succeed. But at the same time, we must also hold these institutions accountable for their actions. And as we step into the election season, politicians seeking vote on promises to tackle corruption must be reminded of their responsibility to act once they assume office. But in this regard, some of them already are in office. So, and there are many things that they can do now, and rather than wait for some pie in the sky later when they assume power. In this regard, we demand the following actions from government to enhance the prospects of accountable governance. Number one, we want a full publication of the KPMG report on the SML-GRA agreement. I think that demand has been made. We are still waiting for the president to publish the full report. We also want the report from the CID of the police service on the sources of Madam Cecilia Dapa's monies that were found in her houses and the ones that were allegedly stolen by her house help. We also urge Yoko to reconsider its position on not investigating the Cecilia Dapa case in accordance with Section 1.3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act. A stakeholder agreement. We also, our third demand, we believe that there should be a stakeholder engagement in the preparation and development of accountability and anti-corruption coordination legislation. We believe that all these turf wars and disputes and sometimes publicly between our agencies are not going to help us to fight corruption. But if we're going to overcome that and to streamline that action, we need legislation to cover their coordination. Even an MOU is not enough, because we cannot be guaranteed that everybody will comply if it's not a legislation. Number 4, we want to see cabinet approval and the laying of the Conduct of Public Office Holders Bill to regulate our weak assets and liabilities disclosure regime, gift giving in the public service, influence peddling, and the conflict of interest, among other public ethics behaviors. We as a coalition are convinced that this is a critical piece of legislation in our fight against corruption, particularly in terms of prevention. We are also convinced that the bill, which has been languishing in the corridors of power for over a decade, should include provisions on unexplained wealth, a strong sanctions regime, and publication of assets and liabilities of public officers. 5, a withdrawal of the appointment of the parliamentary aspirants to SOEs, apart from the obvious insensitivity to our economic situation and the deepening politicization of parastatals, then the expansion of the already bad governance of appointing MPs to sit on the board of SOEs. All is a real cause for worry. We also demand, through investigations into the justification for selling shares in the 4 state-owned hotels, as well as other allegations of conflict of interest, abuse of power, lack of due process, and procurement breaches. We support the TUC and organized labor's call to halt the transaction immediately. And lastly, on the Poalugu multipurpose dam, we demand the Ministry of Finance and Works and Housing and other relevant agencies to publish the full details of the work done, including its current status, and disclose all payments made on the project. The public deserves to know how our funds are being utilized.